bricklayer is a craft worker, is skilled in laying brick and other masonry types of material. We also have other trades that fall in encompass with the bricklaying part. We also have tile setters, we have plasters, pointer caulker and cleaner, and we also have cement masons that do concrete work. Some types of job sites that bricklayers work on, starts probably in the small residential housing. We do apartment complexes. We also do schools, hotels. We do city, county, and state work also, building projects, commercially and industrial buildings also. And that entails, anywhere from masonry bearing walls to load bearing to structurally support, the roofs and stuff like that, to also interior walls, just like you're in here today. A bricklayer builds walls and structures using brick, concrete block, and mortar. Work varies complexity from laying simply masonry walkways to installing exterior on a high-rise building. Trade tasks includes laying block, pointing, cleaning, waterproofing, and cutting of the brick, fireproofing, construction of arches, setting stone, glass block, terracotta, and insulating, cutting, and laying, and pointing a cement block, glazed tile, and erection of precast panels. The tile setter also will snap lines and grids to establish his layout pattern, and then will lay the tile and then grout for the final installation. Precast, that part we will lay out, and then he will set the precast and also level up the precast. And a concrete finisher basically lays out some of the material, lays out his border, will pour the concrete in place, strike it off, level it, and then finish the concrete.
Besides just a bricklayer being artistic too, they also have to be, how do I want to say it, or how would you guys, I guess the easiest way that you guys can understand it is a building envelope specialist too. I mean, besides the bricklaying, they have flashing details, and you have moisture control barriers and stuff like that, where they actually, you have to deal with the moisture and how it affects the building, up above here, like where the plenium may come out or whatever, where you might have some air lost or something like that. And for the new energy codes and stuff like that, but they have to know, basically they have to know how to seal a building, so you don't have that moisture loss or movement loss and stuff like that, and they have to know the properties. And like you said, I do a lot of teaching with the bricklayers even afterwards. It's flashing and hydraulic mass climbing systems and, advanced safety classes and the building envelopes and flashing classes and stuff like that. So, and we travel around. It's like continuing education credits, but it's it's a great trade to get into.
The apprenticeship program is roughly 4,680 hours, total hours of apprenticeship, which 480 is on-the-job training. There is 400 hours of classroom time, paid related instruction that the bricklayers go to class here in Madison at Madison College. They do have to take an additional classes, sometimes night classes, sometimes they're incorporated with the schooling. So that's first aid, CPR, 30 hours of OSHA training, safety training, and then also 30 hours of welding that encompasses that program. Wages, wages for bricklayers start out at 65% of the total journeyman's base wage, they have increments of 5%, all the way up to every 780 hours, there's a 5% wage increase. So that goes up until, you know, it gets to its full wage.
I became a first-year apprentice back in, I guess it was May. It'll be May this coming up year. I kind of came from residential bricklaying. Kind of was on my own for a little bit, and I just it was kind of hard, you know, working. I wanted to have a family, and so I was worried about having a check every week, every month would be nice. But ended up giving a call to Jim here to try to get into the union. And you know, I had a couple brothers that did go through the union. It was a plumbing apprenticeship and became journeyman plumbers, and so they had nothing but great stuff to say about it. So I gave Jim a call, and it wasn't long after that, and you know, I got a call saying that Findorf was looking for an apprentice, and ended up getting with Findorf, and I've been there, you know, since May, and it's been going really good. You know, I'm really happy with everything that's been taking place with that. Started going to school, and just, you know, I've been learning a lot, little stuff that I don't pick up on the job site. It's been really helpful, and you know, just going back to working wise, you know, getting a check every Friday is just, it's a lot to say about that. You know, it's very helpful, and then just great guys. You know, it's blue collar working guys, and it's kind of nice to work hard at the end of the day, come home to my family, and not really have a whole lot of stress about anything. And then, you know, if I ever had any questions or stuff came up, I've always got, you know, I can talk to Jim, or you know, he kind of guides me through, you know, with insurance, any questions I have with that. So for me personally, it's been really great, you know, and I know I've only been through 1 year. I got a lot ahead of me, but from what I've seen so far, I'm pretty happy and really thrilled with what's going on.
Benefits, we have health insurance. We have 2 pensions. We have a local pension, Wisconsin Mason's local pension, and then we also have a international pension that our fellows contribute to. They also have a voluntary 401k. Employer doesn't match it. They can take it off their base wage. So it's just kind of a supplemental thing we started back in 2004. So, you know, as times change, and you know, you're gearing up more towards retirement down the road. Pete's got a little while to go over there for that, but it gives a guy an opportunity for a little savings. When an apprentice signs up and starts at 65%, all his benefits beyond that, the health insurance of that, is the same as a journeyman. So he's not prorated. Our AccuPlacer is just 2 reading comprehension and arithmetic. You have to score of 60 or above in the reading comprehension and 33 or above in the arithmetic. And that's the only thing that we score. There is no rank system. I know some trades have a ranking system where they test and then rank their individuals, you know, in a ranking system. Ours are not. So basically, when, you know, Pete applied for apprenticeship, he was given an application. He was had to go to get an AccuPlacer test, and he just had to have a high school diploma or GED equivalent. And of course, you know, have the driver's license, get to and from work when he was called upon. So that's basically all we require from our applicants to get into the program. And then basically he has to go to the orientation to understand what trade he's getting into, and you know, what are some of the requirements.
You know, I grew up here in Middleton, and I did a little, I worked with TMH Masonry out of Wanakee. I think I was probably 16, 17, and I just kind of like, there was fireplace stuff that they did a really good job on, so I kind of like the trade, I guess. My folks always said get a trade, so I kind of got into that. Then out of high school, I moved down to Illinois, and that's kind of where I really picked up I worked with a company down there for about 3 years. And so that was kind of like on-the-job training, and it was mainly just residential bricklaying, some stone here and there, but that's kind of where I really picked up, you know, how to use the trowel and doing it that way, but wasn't the right way, I should say, but I mean, I kind of picked up little stuff here and there, so.
Pete, I just want to follow in. Pete actually had an opportunity back when he was a senior, I believe, at
Oh, yeah.
Middleton, at Middleton High School, and Findorf was actually working on a project. So he had an opportunity to be what we call a pre-apprentice, to come in. He had an afternoon, I believe, where he came in and worked with the guys. So that also kind of helped in his journey along the path to, you know, getting where he is today. On ours, it's a minimum of 17 years old, have the physical ability to work. As far as that program, I would say that was something that, you know, probably was set up between the school and the contractor and Pete being involved there. And, you know, I don't know how legality back those days, if that was easier off than it is now. So we have once in a while, we do have a few kids from the different schools, you know, inquire about it. But there again, we still have to leave it up to the contractor for the liability issue and stuff like that.
Yeah, sorry, I think I should have said too, because when I was there, Middleton High School, they were doing that remodel, and so I did talk to my construction. I was taking a construction class, and he kind of talked with, I guess, the union and Findorf as well, and they kind of put me on as a pre-apprentice that way. So.